Okay, we're just gonna go through a couple of them and then see. And I'm like looking for juicy ones. Like I'm not looking for like basic ones. So I might like speed run some of them. But like, okay, for example, there was one that I was reading, and the guy worked in foster care, and so he had been taking care of like four four or five kids, all from the same family. And the biological parents, excuse me. Also, I'm just gonna apologize in advance if I burp because of these freaking energy drinks. Um, so he was taking care of like five kids, and the biological parents reached out to him because I guess he like bought them groceries and like watched the kids when they needed to, and like bought them Christmas presents and was just like doing more for them than he should have, but I guess he was just like really attached to them or whatever. And so the biological parents told him they were pregnant with twins, and they wanted to know if he would adopt the twins. So, of course, because he had been doing so much for the family already, he was like, yeah, like I will adopt those twins. So he had his own house or whatever. He had a whole separate bedroom. He started decorating for both of the twins. He had like beds, freaking changing tables, diapers, like all everything that he freaking needed for those twins. He told his family, oh my gosh, he told his family, oh my god, like I'm gonna be adopting these twins, like we're gonna have family members, like you're gonna have like nieces and nephews, da 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 da, right? Come to find out, months later, the family, the biological parents lied, and she was never pregnant with twins. And I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, and I still don't even understand why, because he said it wasn't like he was giving them money or whatever, and it wasn't like they asked him to like pay for the children. That would be freaking weird. Like buy our twins off of us. It wasn't nothing like that. Like there was no money involved. There was no like reason for them to lie like that. And so he got severely depressed, quit his job because he was working in the foster care system. So he had to deal with like other children too. Quit his job, got freaking depressed. Obviously had to like donate all the shit he bought for the fucking babies. And then I think like a year later, um, he still had people that he talked to from his job, and they told him that the biological parents did end up getting pregnant, and it was fucking twins. Isn't that insane? Like they lied, and then a year, it must have been like a year or 2 years later, they were freaking pregnant with actual twins. And he was like that it was confirmed. It wasn't them just like lying about it again. Like it was actually confirmed, and there was like pregnancy tests, ultrasound. They had a foster care agent or whatever who was already working on the case to get those actual twins into the system. Like it was a whole thing. And I was like, what the actual hell? Like, that is insane for anyone to go through. But yeah, that's the type of shit I'm looking for. Not like everyday stuff. But we'll see. We'll see what we can find. But I might speed run some of these if they're not juicy enough. So let's see. Whoops. Okay. Am I the asshole for swimming topless? No. Am I the asshole for telling my guests it's better they don't come to my wedding after they complained about our wedding too much? No. Am I the asshole for refusing to give my Switch account to my kid's dad? This is funny to me because I have a Nintendo Switch. Am I the asshole for refusing to give my Switch account to my kid's dad? No. Um, would I be the asshole if I text my best friend about her disrespecting me? My best friend consistently drops off the face of the earth and ignores me. If I text my best friend about her disrespecting me, no. No, unless your best friend drops off the face of the earth because you are an actual asshole and they don't actually want to deal with you and they're not actually your best friend and you're just like imagining that they still actually like you when in reality they actually fucking hate you. So, am I the asshole for not going by a different name than my birth name because it makes my friends uncomfortable? Wait, for not going by a different name than my birth name because it makes my friends uncomfortable? No, absolutely not. And you know what? Shit like that pisses me off because your birth name is your fucking name. And people need to respect you enough to learn how to pronounce your freaking name and not be calling you some other name or trying to shorten your name. Or I like I work in vet med, and there was when I used to be the one that walks into the room with the doctors. There was this one doctor who the lady had like an African name, and it had like multiple syllables in it, and she had the freaking nerve to be like, I don't remember what her name was, but basically like if it was like Joy Owaba or something like that. And she was like, well, can I just call you Joy? No, you can call me by my fucking name. You can't call me whatever you decide to call me because you don't want to take the time to freaking learn my name. Absolutely not. Go by your birth name. Am I the asshole for not refunding money for a stove when I saw the buyer drop it 3 times before she loaded it in her car and then slammed her hatchback and then slammed her hatchback against it several times while trying to close it. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. But there should be a clause, right? Like if you're, I don't know, I'm not gonna read it. But if you're like on Facebook Marketplace or something, or like Etsy or something like that, and you're selling something and you want to make sure it's guaranteed they're not gonna try to freaking fight you to get their money back, you should just put like all sales are final. Like all sales are final. Like, and that's it. That's it, period. Nothing more. You don't even have to say anything other than that. So that if they do shit like that, you're not sitting here arguing with them. You can just say, hey, like the post said, all sales are final. No, I'm not taking the item back. Okay, that was funny though. Would I be the asshole if I dropped out as a bridesmaid a week before the wedding because of what happened at the bachelorette? Okay, let's read this one. Because it depends. It depends. I am a bridesmaid of my friend's wedding. She just had a bachelorette party at the groom's family's cabin for 2 nights. It started off okay, but as the attendants got more and more drunk, oh, the racism and anti Semitism started coming out. For context, everyone else in the wedding party is white. I am mixed Jewish and Filipina. My part of the party was to put on a tea party in the afternoon. Okay, that's cute. I spent weeks hand decorating a tea set as a wedding present. That's cute too. Weddings are huge in my culture, and I wanted to share that joy. I bought and cooked a bunch of my cultural food, but the basic stuff, even Western food people liked lumpia, baked desserts, and sky flakes with cheese and meat. Oh my gosh. I, of course, checked with the bride and mother. I thought I was going to say mother in law. I don't know what MOH is. Mother, I don't know. Mother of husband, maybe? Beforehand. And both of that would be okay with the bride saying she loved lumpia. I was so proud of it and it looked beautiful all set up. But immediately some of the bridal party started making the ill ethnic food face. Oh, okay. I thought they fucking said that shit. Ill ethnic food faces. If you know, you know. One of them chased around another with a sweet bun, laughing about how weird and scary it was. It was literally bread and cream. Yeah, no, literally. That's fucking weird. I sent pictures of my setup to other friends to see it if it was something I did wrong, and everything said it looked amazing, and everyone said it looked amazing. Um, Edit because I need to be precise. People did say thank you, including the bride. They said the setup was very pretty. It was the reaction to the food by some of them, family of the groom, who also made the Auschwitz jokes. Oh, fuck no. Oh, fuck no. That I was describing. That being said, almost nobody spoke during the tea party portion and blamed it on being tired. The bride and friends did not say anything about the reactions of the other girls. The main feedback I got as that or maybe is that I was clearly a witch because my tea put everyone to sleep. It was hibiscus, rose mint, and calamansi mix. Okay, that's fucking weird, also. But oh well, maybe that food isn't for them. I moved on, but then the racist joke started. The party started on Juneteenth. Oh my god. This is just getting worse and worse. The party started on Juneteenth. You can imagine the jokes that came out of that. Then anti Semitic jokes about Holocaust camps and more. Oh my gosh. Ugh. This is a direct quote. I say a lot of Nazi and Holocaust jokes for someone who isn't racist. I was trapped on a boat with them when this started happening. Later that night, as I was grabbing something from a room to then leave, the main perpetrator said to someone I considered a close friend, I was worried you'd be offended by the Auschwitz jokes because you're German. That friend replied, she wasn't offended. I spoke up, well, I might be offended because I'm Jewish. I got up to leave with my stuff, and the girl said, she's going back to Auschwitz? Oh, fuck no. Okay, no, she's not the asshole. She's not the asshole. Oh, hell no. Hell no. My friend, the bride, everyone laughed. I went outside and I cried. They saw me from the window. Then they all came to eat food. Not a single one of my friends came to check on me. The vibes continued along that line, and I felt like I was in the Jewish Asian version of Get Out, stuck in a giant home with a bunch of racist white people. Oh, hold on. Why does it sound like it's echoing again? Hello, hello,
Hello, hello,
hello.
hello.
Okay.
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 Then I was in a
Then I
four
was in a
hour car
4 hour
ride with
car
one of
ride with one of
them.
them.
Wait. Then
Wait.
I was in a
Then I was in a
4 hour
4 hour
car ride
car
with
ride with
one
one
of said
of said
friends,
friends,
bridesmaids, on
bridesmaids
the way
on the
home.
way home.
She spent the
She
last
spent the last
hour of
hour of
it
it
lecturing me
lecturing
about
me
how
about
she's
how
someone
she's
who
someone
can be
who can
cordial
be
around
cordial
people she
around
doesn't
people
agree
she
with,
doesn't
but
agree
not
with, but
everyone
not
has that
everyone
skill,
has that
especially
skill,
when it's
especially when it's
personal. And
personal.
that I need
And
to
that
put
I
myself
need
in
to put
other
myself in
people's
other people's
shoes and
shoes
see
and
that they
see
have
that they
positive
have
intentions.
positive
Oh, fuck
intentions.
that.
Oh, fuck that.
Nope.
Nope.
For context,
For
this
context,
cabin was
this
four
cabin
hours
was four
away, and I
hours
have a
away, and
pretty
I have a
moderate
pretty moderate
disability. I was using
disability. I was using
110% of my
110% of
energy
my
for this
energy for
and had
this
no
and had
energy
no
left by the
energy
end
left
of
by
it.
the end of
I
it.
pushed
I
myself to
pushed myself to
extremes for
extremes
these
for these
friends
friends and the
and
bride,
it was
and it was
reciprocated with
reciprocated with
laughing at
laughing
anti
at
Semitic jokes at my
anti-Semitic jokes at
expense.
my
The
expense.
wedding is
The
next
wedding
week, and
is
I can
next
barely
weekend. I can
see from
barely
the
see from
migraine
the
I
migraine I
have, and my
have,
legs are
and my legs
struggling
are
with
struggling
walking. I
with
don't
walking. I
feel it's
don't feel
worth
it's
it
worth
to hurt
it to
myself for
hurt
someone
myself
who
for
couldn't
someone who
bother to
couldn't
stand up for
bother to
me or
stand
even
up for
check
me
on
or
me
even check
after.
on me after.
All my friends of
All my
color
friends of
agree
color
with
agree
me,
with
but
me,
this was
but
my high
this was
school
my high
friend
school
group. I
friend
grew up in a
group. I grew
very
up in a
white
very
town,
white
and I
town,
also
and
feel
I
guilty
also
like
feel
I'm
guilty
letting them
like I'm
down. I'm
letting
not
them
quite
down. I'm
sure
not
what to
quite
do.
sure what to do.
Okay,
Okay,
no.
no.
Edit. I was a
Edit, I was a
history
history
major, which makes
major,
this whole
which
thing
makes this
even
whole thing
worse. So I
even
have to
worse.
add
So I have
context
to
that I
add
didn't
context that
realize
I
I
didn't
missed until
realize
the
I missed until
comments.
the comments.
The
The
car
friend
is
in
the
the
friend
car
who
is the
said she
friend who
wasn't
said she
offended by
wasn't
the
offended by the
Holocaust jokes to the
Holocaust jokes to the
person.
person.
Okay. In the car,
Okay. In the
she did
car,
say
she did
that
say
she
that
is
she is
absolutely against the
absolutely against the
concentration camp
concentration camp
joke and
joke
that she
and
feels
that she
guilty she
feels
didn't say
guilty she didn't say
anything. The words "I'm
anything. The
sorry"
words "I'm
never came
sorry"
out of her
never
mouth
came out of her
though.
mouth, though.
But that I
But
brought
that I
up the
brought
other
up the
stuff
other
with
stuff
the
with the
food
food
and racist
and racist
comments, and
comments,
that's
and
when she
that's when
went
she went
on that
on
tangent.
that tangent.
She also said
She
she
also
saw the
said she saw
racism
the
but never
racism, but
told
never
me in those
told me in those
situations you
situations
just have
you
to
just
ignore it
have
and
to
choose
ignore
to
it and
not be
choose to
around those
not be
people
around
again.
those
As
people
she
again.
knew,
As she
there
knew
were
there
there
were
was
there was
racism
racism
happening,
happening,
including towards
including
me, and she
towards
didn't say
me, and she
anything or
didn't say
check on me.
anything
I
or check
will
on
be
me. I will
choosing
be
to not
choosing
be
to
around her
not be
again.
around her again.
I also
I
told her
also told her
repeatedly that I
repeatedly
didn't
that I
want to
didn't
talk
want
about
to
this
talk
now
about this
because I
now
was so
because I was
physically
so
done. And she
physically done.
said,
And she
"This is
said,
my
"This is
car and I'm
my car
driving.
and
I
I'm
don't want
driving.
to
I
be
don't want to be
uncomfortable and have this
uncomfortable and
tension
have
here.
this
We are
tension here. We
talking."
are talking.
I have a
I have
vocal
a
cord
vocal
disorder and
cord
my
disorder
speaking
and
is
my
limited, so
speaking
I
is
didn't
limited,
say
so I didn't
much,
say
and I
much,
didn't want
and
to
I
get
didn't
dropped
want to
off on
get
the side
dropped
of the
off on the
road in the
side of
middle
the
of
road in the
nowhere.
middle of
I
nowhere.
told her
I
she
told
crossed the
her she
boundary
crossed the
she can't
boundaries
come
that she
back
can't
from
come
though.
back from, though.
The people making
The
the
people
racist
making the
jokes were the
racist jokes
sibling
were the
cousins of
sibling
the
cousins
groom. My
of the
friends were
groom.
the
My
ones
friends were the
laughing
ones
along and
laughing
not saying
along and not saying
anything.
anything.
I have been
I
long
have been
distance with
long
these friends
distance with
since
these
high
friends
school.
since
The
high
friend
school. The
in the
friend
car
in the
with me
car with
was
me
in a
was in
social
a
justice
social
club with me in
justice
high
club with me in
school.
high
There
school.
was
There was
not signs
not
of this
signs of this
behavior
behavior
from
before from
either
either
this friend
this
or the
friend or
bride.
the
In
bride.
fact,
In
the
fact,
bride
the
went with
bride went
me
with
to an
me to an
anti-ICE
anti-ice
fundraiser
fundraiser
party earlier
earlier
this year, and
this
we
year,
had a
and
lot of
we had a
fun. I
lot of
have never
fun.
been
I have
shy
never
with
been
my
shy
opinions,
with my
especially as
opinions,
someone who
especially
studied
as someone who
history.
studied
This was the
history.
first time I
This
was
was the
hanging
first time I
out
was hanging
with them
out
around a
with
bunch
them
of other
around a bunch of
people.
other people.
In reviewing
In
these comments,
reviewing
I've
these
realized
comments,
that
I've
they may
realized
not
that they may be
not
not
racist.
racist.
What?
What?
But didn't stop
But
her say
didn't stop her
anything
say
about
anything
racism
about
when it
racism
happened,
when it
which is in
happened,
fact
which is in fact
racism.
racism.
I'm also
I'm
more
also
white
more
than
white
not.
than not. I am
Ethnically
ethnically
Jewish, but not
Jewish, but not
religious. I
religious.
often
I
don't feel
often
like I
don't
have a
feel
right
like I
to
have a right
be
to
upset
be
about
upset
these
about
things
these
because other
things because other
families have gone through
families have
worse.
gone through
That's
worse.
something
that's something I'm working to unlearn, and was definitely some exposure therapy. Why didn't I say
Why
anything
didn't I
at the
say
party?
anything at
Because
the
I was in the
party? Because
middle
I
of
was in the middle of
nowhere,
nowhere, surrounded by drunk people making racist
me.
comments at
I have
me.
survived
I have
violence
survived
before
violence
and know that
before and know
sometimes
that
keeping your
sometimes
mouth shut
keeping your
is what
mouth
needs
shut
to
is what
happen
needs to
until you're in
happen
a
until
safe
you're in a safe
space.
space.
Lastly, I will not be
Lastly,
going
I
to
will
the
not be
wedding.
going
Okay,
to the
good.
wedding. Okay, good.
That is
That is
wild.
wild.
See, and that's something that
something that I had to also
hold on.
hold on.
Why am I still
Why am I still
no. No. Hello.
hello?
Hello. Hello.
Hello, hello,
Hello.
hello, hello, hello,
Hello. 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 Okay. Why does it still sound hello?
hello,
Hello. Hello.
hello, hello.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's like
So
also
that's like
something
also
that I
something
had
that
to
I had
like
to like
learn
learn
when I got
when I got
older
older
is that
is
just
that just
because the
because the
people
people
laughing
laughing
are not the
are not the
ones
ones
saying the
saying the
racist
racist
things
things
by not
by
standing
not
up for
standing
the
up
person
for
who
the
is getting
person who is
picked
getting
on. They
picked on.
are
They are
accomplices
accomplices
of
of
racism.
racism.
Like,
Like
just because you're not
just
the
because you're not the
one
one
saying stuff,
saying stuff,
excuse me,
doesn't mean you're
doesn't
not an
mean you're
accomplice
not
to
an accomplice to
racism.
racism. Like, if you're not going to
Like
sit
if you're
there and
not going to
stand
sit
up
there
for
and
her,
stand up for her,
especially
especially the bride,
like
like
she's in your wedding.
your wedding.
So you
So
obviously
you
had to have been
obviously had to
friends with
have been
her.
friends with
So
her.
why would you
So
not
why
stick
would
up
you
for your
not stick up for
friend
your friend
against
against
your
your
husband's
husband's
friends?
friends?
Like they're not
Like they're
even
not even
in her
in
friend
her
group. Like if
friend
they were
group. Like
all
if they were all
friends and
friends
she could be
and
like,
she
okay,
could
I'm
be like,
calling you
okay, I'm
out.
calling
Like
you out.
we've been
Like
friends since
we've
high
been
school.
friends
Like
since
I'm
high
gonna
school.
call
I'm
you
like,
out
I'm
on
gonna
your
call you out
shit.
on your
That would
shit.
have been
That would
like
have been
different.
like
But she
different.
doesn't
But she
know
doesn't
them.
know them.
Like the bride knows them.
knows
So
them.
she could
So
have
she
stepped
could have
in and said,
stepped in and said,
hey, like
hey,
this is my
like this is my
friend
friend
and you need to
and you need to
respect her.
respect her.
Like I'm not
Like I'm
gonna
not
accept you
gonna accept you
disrespecting her like that.
disrespecting her like that.
Like that's just wild.
Like that's just wild.
Okay.
Okay.
Am I the asshole
Am
for
I the
wearing
asshole for
white to a
wearing white
wedding?
to a wedding?
Yes.
Yes.
Am I the
Am
asshole
I
for
the asshole
expecting a
for expecting a
19-year-old and
19-year-old and
21-year-old to
21-year-old to
contribute
contribute
financially? No.
financially? No.
Am I the
Am I the
asshole for
asshole
thinking
for
it's my
thinking it's my
roommate's fault
roommate's
my
fault
cat
my
is
cat
dead?
is dead?
Okay, I gotta read
Okay, I
this
gotta
one.
read this one.
I'm currently in a devastating situation. I'm
I'm
disabled and don't
disabled and
have
don't
many people
have
in my
many
life,
people
not
in my
even
life,
blood
not even
relatives.
blood
My cat
relatives.
was
My
one of the
cat
few
was one of
things
the
that
few
brought me
things that
joy.
brought me
And I
joy.
asked my
And I
roommate's
asked my
friends to
roommate's
not
friends
let
to
him
not let him
outside.
outside.
The road,
The
oh
road, oh
no.
no.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Okay.
I don't know why it was sounding so weird.
I need to like figure out these sound stuff.
Okay. The road in front of our house is very busy and dangerous and I think they meant dangerous. And they kept letting him outside after I repeatedly asked them not to. And he was hit this morning. And now he's gone. They woke up and told me after finding him in the road, he was my baby. I wasn't even aware he was outside. I've been keeping him in my room for his safety, so I don't know how he got out the room. I was asleep and my door was shut. I found him as a small kitten and bottle fed him. He was most lovable cat in the entire world. I'm completely devastated. I had to bury him this morning, and I thought these people were my friends, but they acted like it was no big deal. They acted like they didn't care. They didn't even say sorry to me. What the fuck? They said it isn't their fault and I shouldn't blame them. Am I wrong for thinking his death is on their hands? I thought these people cared about me because people I thought of as family. I loved them so much, but I don't think I can forgive this and I don't know what to do. I'm so upset and frustrated because this could have been prevented if they had just listened to me and not let him outside. I'm sorry if there were mistakes. My typing, I'm crying already in this. Okay. Yeah, it's 100% their fault. Like, one, that's not your pet. So you don't get to decide what happens with somebody else's pet. So if he was saying, do not let him outside, you literally have one job. Don't freaking let him outside. That's sad. Am I the asshole for showing up underprepared to a hike and being put off with my friends for not warning me and also ditching me? No. And there's literally a term for that. Hold on. What the heck? Oh, is it this? Alpine divorce? A disturbing modern dating trend or red flag where one partner deliberately or carelessly abandons the other in the mountains, a wilderness trail, or a dangerous outdoor location to fend for themselves. Yeah. Wait, which one was I on? Oh, yeah, that's fucked up. Am I the asshole for being embarrassed by my boyfriend's eating habits? No. Am I the asshole for asking my boyfriend not to stick chopsticks upright in his rice? No, because that's disrespectful. And if he had any freaking knowledge about Asian culture, he would understand that. And it literally takes one freaking Google search to know you're being disrespectful. So, no, you're not the asshole. Am I the asshole for not accommodating our new roommate? Yes, maybe. Let me see. I, 18, am working at a company out of state and am living in a two-bedroom apartment with four girls. Oh my God, hell no. First, two girls that arrived took the two rooms, one full bed each, and I took an air mattress in the living room. Oh, she didn't even have her own freaking room. New girl arrives 3 weeks after me, and I set up another bed in the living room for her. Problem is that she has a strict bedtime schedule asleep by 9, up at 6 a.m. cooking, and wants me to accommodate it. The two girls who have the rooms are only at the apartment 1 to 2 nights a week, so it doesn't even make sense why they have those rooms. Yeah, that's true. But I don't really care because the air mattress works fine. She hates TV due to strict religious values and always makes faces, comments on what I'm watching, or just sighs when it's on. I've always been an unbothered person who never cared about anything, so I don't really care what she thinks much. She then goes to bed early and asks me to turn off the TV, whatever. I was eating ice cream on the couch and she came over with a bowl and a spoon and just served herself some. Okay, I don't care. She always wants me to turn the lights off in separate rooms, and I'm a night owl, so I like to be able to see. Same, same. And you know what? Just for that, you're not the asshole. Just for that, you're not the asshole. Because I fucking hate having to walk around in the dark. And you know what? Story time. My first college roommate was, I'm gonna say she was racist. She was racist. So I am a night owl. I like to be up at night, and obviously I can't fucking see in the dark. So there needs to be a light on. I don't care if it's a small light, I don't care if it's a big light. I need some type of light to be able to see where I'm walking so I'm not running into fucking walls. So I had been at one of my hobbies or classes, whatever, late, and we got out at maybe like 9 o'clock at night. So I went from class to my activity, after school activity, whatever you want to call it. And then I would come home or come back to my dorm and then do what I needed to do for myself. So I got off of my class at like 9 o'clock at night, didn't make it back to my room until maybe like 9:30 or 10. And I had a tiny little desk lamp that was one little light bulb, barely, like, it's barely illuminating the room. And she was already asleep. I needed to do laundry because I had no freaking clothes. And so I like pack up my laundry bag. I go down to the laundry room, washing my clothes or whatever. I come back into the room to get, I don't know if it was like my laundry detergent or what the hell it was. Come back, my light is off. So I get pissed. I go over to my desk in the dark because I can't fucking see. So I'm like feeling around, making sure I don't fucking fall over. Turn my little lamp back on, grab whatever I needed. I think it was like detergent or I don't fucking know. I grabbed what I needed, left again to go back down to the laundry room, finished washing my clothes, dragged my clothes back up to my dorm room. I walk in the room, the fucking light is off again. Oh my God. I was so fucking pissed. I literally just started yelling. I like, again, I'm like looking, I'm like touching everything, trying to get back over to my desk, turn my freaking lamp back on, and I was literally like, don't fucking touch my lamp. And then she gets up and she's like, oh, but it's dark, mind you. And then on top of the fact that she was turning my lamp off, she sleeps with the fucking eye masks. So I'm like, you have an eye mask on to block off the light. Why do you also need to turn off my tiny fucking lamp? That's the only light that I have in this fucking room. So I'm like, don't touch my fucking lamp. And she's like, yeah, but it's like too bright or whatever. And I had it like, it was one of those lamps that goes like this. Like you can like bend it. And so it was literally folded all the way over, like collapsed, pointing at the fucking table. So you couldn't even like see the lamp. It's not like it was like shining up into the fucking ceiling. So I'm like, it's already as like a dim as it can fucking possibly be. And I had it on so I didn't have the overhead light on. Because I could have been an asshole and just walked in the room and flipped on the fucking overhead light if I wanted to be a fucking asshole, but I didn't do that. I had the tiny little lamp on so that I wasn't disturbing her. And that was like the biggest argument. And then after that day, it just snowballed, and I literally ended up reporting her to the RA, and then I fucking got the hell out of there because I was like, oh hell no, bitch! Like I'm gonna end up smacking you. So yeah, that's why she was like, I'm a night. What did she say? I'm a night owl, so I do like to be able to see. Like that alone, no, you're not the fucking asshole. I sleep just a few feet away from her and have photophobia, light sensitivity, and I'm more exposed to the light, and it really doesn't bother me much. I went outside to call my sister today, and she stayed inside to call someone. I came back in because I was hungry and being flayed by mosquitoes. She is on call loudly laughing with her boyfriend and just being loud overall. She has done this before, loudly on call and being inconsiderate of our small space when it's easy to go sit outside and chat. I get off call and want to watch a movie, and I keep the volume very low and I'm watching, and she gets off call and tells me she's going to bed and I need to turn off the TV. I'm frankly annoyed that I had to listen to her talk to her boyfriend, which is louder than the TV, and then when she was done, all of a sudden it's bedtime. Oh, fuck her. No, fuck her. What do people say? This living situation is sort of unfathomable to me. Why wouldn't you just have two girls share each room? The current setup sounds grossly unfair. Not the asshole. She can get earplugs. See? She can get earplugs and a night mask. Thank you, people with a fucking brain. Why exactly does she have preferential control of the living space that you both share? Because if she's not paying more, then she shouldn't be entitled to more. I would suggest you just ignore her and tell her if she doesn't like it, sleep in her closet. But I'm an asshole and a petty bitch, so I'm not directly recommending it. Uh, that's so funny. Yeah, fuck that bitch. I thought that she was gonna be the asshole because I was like, it depends. It depends. Like if she was really nice and you're just like being rude, like oh I don't want to talk to her or hang out with her, then no. But that situation, no, you're not the asshole. Am I the asshole for calling out a coworker when he commented on me leaving early for my son? No. Would I be the asshole to ask my siblings to start paying me back? No. That is like such a common thing for siblings to give other siblings money and then not get any money back. So, no, get your money. Am I the asshole for giving my boyfriend an ultimatum for showing me his home? For showing me his home. Okay, I kind of want to read this. Hi, I've been dating a guy for almost 3 months now. We literally live a 15-minute walking distance away from each other, so we hang out almost daily. He comes over at my place to watch movies, eat dinner, and play games together, but he refuses to invite me over to his place. Every time I ask him to hang out at his place, he tells me it's too messy and he doesn't want me to see it. Ooh, I feel like he's a hoarder. He lives in a small apartment and has loads of free time to clean. I also offered to help him clean his home several times, but he refuses. He rejected the idea of hiring a professional cleaner, too. I don't want us to only hang out in my home every time, and I've asked him to clean his home so many times now. I even say I don't care about it being a mess. I just want my boyfriend to invite me over. He claims he is cleaning bit by bit. That sounds weird. But that's what he's been saying for 3 months now. Last week, I was fed up with it and told him I'm giving him an ultimatum of 2 weeks to show me his home or we're done. Good. He asked me for a month. Eventually, we settled on 3 weeks, but he said he probably won't make it. Keep in mind, this is a single person apartment, so small, and he has all the time in the world. That's weird. He's either a hoarder or he's dirty as fuck. So, yeah, if he's a hoarder, he's not cleaning it. Like, that home is never going to be clean. But if he's not a hoarder and he's just dirty as fuck, then why would you want to date someone like that anyway? Like, it doesn't take you 3 fucking weeks to clean your house. Like, how fucking dirty is it? And refusing professional cleaners and refusing for your girlfriend to help you clean, that's also weird, right? Because if it was like actually just a dirty issue and not like a hoarding issue, why are you refusing help? So that's just weird. Or third option, it's actually not about his house being dirty and he has a girlfriend or a wife and he just doesn't want her coming over because she's at the house. That's the third option. And that would also make me not want to fucking date you either. Because now I don't know if you're a hoarder, I don't know if you're dirty as fuck, or I don't know if you're actually in a relationship and she's like at your fucking house and that's why you don't want me to come over. So all three of those reasons, just fucking dump him. Just dump him. Why did they write it like this? Am I the asshole for yelling at an obese woman in a movie theater? Why did they write it like that? I have to read it. Why did they write it like that? Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Tonight I went to the movies to see The Back Rooms with my partner. We arrived just as the movie started, settled in and began watching. About 30 to 45 minutes into the movie, a couple came and sat right next to us. Usually I wouldn't care if someone comes in late to a movie, as I know I have before. However, this couple came in making a ridiculous amount of noise. I'm talking multiple wrappers of food, getting tossed around and crinkled every few seconds, nonstop chatter between the two of them for, I'm not even kidding, 15 minutes. The woman kept burping loudly in between them talking. Oh, that's nasty. Ew. Okay. They were half whispering, but in a silent theater, it was incredibly noticeable and enraging. The woman also kept obnoxiously pointing at the screen and going, ooh, ooh, look at that, to her boyfriend of like completely non-eventful shots from the film, and then would loudly kiss him. After putting up with this for roughly 20 minutes, I finally snapped. I turned to them and loudly said, are you two going to keep talking or can you shut the fuck up? I'm extremely distracted. They just stared at me and then didn't talk for the rest of the movie. So I guess mission accomplished. I know I probably shouldn't have cursed, but at a certain point, it's just how ridiculous. At a certain point, it's just ridiculous how some people don't even give a single fuck about the people around them. Same kind of people who cut you off in traffic while drooling on their phones. Anyways, that's it. No. I don't think you're the asshole. That fucking bothers me. And that's one of the reasons I don't like going to the movies anymore, because people don't know how to shut the fuck up. Like, if I want to watch a movie, I would rather just watch it at home where I can actually hear everything and not be distracted by all of that. Like, you're talking loudly, you're fucking, I hear your rappers. It's just like, oh, that shit's so annoying. I can't. That's why I'm just like, I haven't gone to the movies in a really long time because I just get so fucking annoyed. And I'm like the type of person who gets like overstimulated really easily. So just all of it, like I hear this rapper, I hear this rapper, this one's chewing popcorn, these ones are talking. Like he said, they're kissing, these people are kissing, and I'm just like, oh my god, I can't even fucking focus on the movie because everybody is just annoying the shit out of me. I can't. Okay. Wamba badge. You still got. You still got 2 hours. Don't even start. You got 2 hours. You got 2 hours. Cut it out. My girlfriend has taken a new job 100 miles from home and is planning on commuting. Am I the asshole for not changing my work arrangements to suit her? 100 miles from home and is planning on commuting. For not changing my work arrangements to suit her. I would say no. I don't know, but that's just me. I feel like your job is like a very personal thing, and whatever you agree to, like, you need to be the one to make it work, not expect somebody else to make it work for you. Unless that was already like discussed, like, hey, I have an interview with this company, it's 100 miles away. Can you do X, Y, and Z? Right there, you need to make the decision. If he's like, no, I can't do X, Y, and Z, you either need to figure out how you're going to get it done or don't take the job because it's just not possible. Like, you can't expect him to, or I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, whatever, expect them to change their work schedule or whatever to make sure you get to your job. Like, no. Am I the asshole over steak resting? Probably not. I mean, people like their food different ways. So if your food, what the fuck? If your food preferences are different from other people, I don't think you're an asshole for wanting food the way you enjoy to eat, like you enjoy eating it. I mean, if you're like yelling at people and like cursing them out, that's a completely different story, but I'm not going to read it. Am I the asshole for not hanging out with my sister while my friends are over? Um, Depends. Like, are you always hanging out with your sister? And is she being like weird because you're finally hanging out with her friends and not hanging out with her? Or is like your sister coming in from out of town and you decided to hang out with your friends inside of your sister? Like, I don't know. It depends. Am I the asshole for getting a little sassy with a customer over a miscommunication? No. One, because I can't stand customers. Like, I literally cannot stand customers that think that they know how to do your job better than you do. And then you have to sit here and be fucking nice to them. No, that shit pisses me off. Am I the asshole for wanting my husband to stop sharing his location with his mom because I feel like we're being watched? Uh, that's a tough one. I don't think you're an asshole because you want your privacy, right? But you also, like, people share their location for um Ivy, cut it out. Cut it out. You still have 2 hours. Um like, for wanting your privacy, but people share their location for like safety too. So you're basically like telling him like, I want you to go off grid from your mom, which is, I don't know, in a way like not fair to them. I mean, I guess they can figure out a different way to make sure they're safe, but I kind of see both sides. Am I the asshole for mentioning I'm also a professional when a doctor took over 45 minutes to finally appear at an appointment? No. Am I the asshole for getting pregnant without considering my roommate's feelings? No. And that's weird. Um, am I the asshole? This is hard to write, so bear with me. Oh, they didn't even put what it fucking was about. Hold on. Wait, it was removed? Oh shit. Okay, hold on. Well, I'll just read what I could see. We drove to my in laws from Central Florida to Mobile, Alabama. My husband and our 11-year-old son came last week with our cat and dog because I could not get 2 weeks off work for Independence Day. On Wednesday evening, we left our 5-year-old dog in the bathroom of our in laws to buy fireworks. Somehow, our pug died. There was nothing toxic in the bathroom we could find, and when my husband went to go get him after getting back, he appeared to be sleeping on his belly with his paws out, but he was dead. Hmm. Another like pet dying on somebody else's watch, which, oh my gosh, also like working in vet med, this is more common than people think. That's why I'm just like so against like having my cat stay at like one of these fucking facilities. I did it one time, and the girl luckily was like really good. She kept me updated, sending me pictures or whatever, but this happens way more often than it should. But yeah, like if you're gonna leave your pet with somebody, you honestly have to. I mean, it sucks to even think that way that you might come back and your pet's dead, but that's just something you actually have to like think about. that you could literally leave on vacation and come back and then something tragic happened to your freaking pet. Like my manager um was going on his anniversary with his husband to Las Vegas. They had been there for like 24 hours and they were supposed to be there for like a week, I think. They were there for 24 hours and literally the next day that they were there, they got a call from their pet sitter that their dog had escaped through the backyard, ran out into the street, and got hit by a car. And his back legs were broken, or her back legs were broken. I was like, oh my God. And so he literally had to fly back from Las Vegas to take care of his fucking dog. And they were in the emergency room. The dog needed surgery on both of the back legs. It was a whole thing. And I'm like, that is actually insane. Like you're thinking, oh, I'm gonna go on an anniversary trip, and then you come back and your dog's back legs are fucking broken. So yeah, that's you just can't leave your pet with everyone. You just can't. That is the reality. One of the realities that you have to accept. Oh, I was still drinking. You have to accept if you're gonna leave your pet with somebody. Am I the asshole if I privately ask my aunt and uncle to stop posting videos of their kids crying in our family Snapchat group? I'm gonna say no. That's weird. Why are you posting your children crying? That's weird. Am I the asshole for swimming topless? No. Wait, is this just starting all over again? Okay, next. Let's see. Let's do this one. My husband's mom told me I'm way out of his league at dinner. Wait, my husband's mom told told him I'm way out of his league at dinner and his whole family agreed. Okay. I don't see what's wrong with that. You probably are. You probably are. I, 25 female, married my 26 male husband about 8 months ago and have been with him for almost 3 years. We went to dinner at his parents' house, and while we were eating, his mom suddenly went, I love you very much, but she is way out of your league. She said it so rudely, and I could tell she really meant it. I was appalled, but my husband simply said, yeah, you're right. See? And the rest of the family nodded in agreement. I told them I disagreed and that he was actually out of my league, but everyone laughed and brushed me off. This is so funny. Girl, you probably are. Just accept the fucking compliment. Okay, next. Girlfriend went behind my back, got an outrageous car loan. Girlfriend? Why does that matter? You're not married. Okay. I found my friend tenant dead in my house. Okay. I've owned a multi-family house for almost 6 years now. For close to five of them, I rented my second floor to a former coworker who eventually became a friend. Early 40s, but extremely diabetic. He was just about the perfect tenant. Always paid rent on time, extremely quiet and respectful, and helped out in more ways than would typically be expected of a tenant. Our relationship was very symbiotic, and I greatly appreciated having him as a tenant. But then at the beginning of October, after not paying rent, which knowing him was very unusual, 5 or 6 days of no activity, and no response to numerous text calls and banging on the door. I went up there and found him dead in his bed, diabetic coma. I called the police and then went and sat outside in my driveway. I rarely smoke anymore, but that evening I ripped down an entire pack in about 2 hours. I like to think I'm fairly tough, don't we all? But I've never seen a dead body in person outside of going to a wake. I've certainly never seen the corpse of a friend of mine. The house was built in 1805 and the upstairs badly needs more updating and repairs in addition to what I'd done prior to moving in. I need to do electrical plumbing and replace a number of windows up there, so that means a ton of hours that I need to be up there and thousands in expenses. I can't even begin though. There's a slow water leak in his bathroom that is dribbling into my bathroom that shouldn't take me more than 10 minutes to fix. I've been ignoring it for months. I can't bring myself to go up there. I've been up there maybe 6 times since finding him 9 months ago and rarely alone. It's been 3.5 to 4 months since I've gone up there. There are now cobwebs, ew, across the doorway leading up to the apartment. Ew. It smells like him up there, not his body, but just the smell of him living there. It's hard to describe. That smell freaks me out, and I get very anxious and uncomfortable up there. Like the concept of spending any amount of time up there legitimately frightens me. His bedroom, where I found him, scares me the most. I can't help but look in the corner and imagine his bed and body still there. Ew. I know I need therapy. Yeah, for this and many other reasons, but I bought this house knowing I'd have passive rental income, and I pretty much always have. I lost my well paying job and had to take a far lower paying gig. Excuse me, where I'm much happier, but that's besides the point. And with the cost of living nowadays, I'm barely scraping by. I'm just barely keeping my debt under control. The mortgage gets higher priority than food right now. I want to get a therapist, but I want to fix upstairs first so I can get someone up there to pay rent. Then that additional income will lessen my burden and free up money for professional help. My health insurance kind of sucks. I'm already paying other medical professionals for other forms of help that are more critical than therapy. But I can't even get to the point of doing the work to get a tenant to then find a good therapist. This is completely unsustainable, yet I can't bring myself to take the steps needed to alleviate myself. If I were able to pay someone to do the work, I would, but I can't even afford to finance that right now. Has anyone ever found the corpse Has anyone ever found the corpse of a friend in a familiar area before? I'm wondering if anyone has personal techniques, mental exercises, suggestions on how they were able to get themselves past it. What helped you come to terms with what you experienced? How were you able to get to a place mentally, emotionally where you could comfortably revisit the place where you found them? Okay, it's been emptied out. My issues with the area in general. Uh, Definitely therapy, but he said he can't afford that right now. I mean, finding free online, uh, like, what is it called? Like if you go on to like different free sites, they have like clearing your mental space, like healing meditations. Um like they have free stuff. I mean, it's not as good as like an actual therapist, but there are like other things he can do. There's even like grief coping stuff on YouTube. Like there's like a lot of free stuff he could be looking for. He doesn't need to like pay for that, even though obviously a professional would be like the better option, but obviously he can't financially do that right now. That's crazy. My girlfriend wants to be a surrogate for her cousin. I'd be out. I'd be out. Uh, is it weird to call my dad daddy when I'm 14? Honestly, I don't know. Like it sounds weird because people have made that word like fetish. Like they fetishized that word. So like it does sound weird, but at the same time I'm like he is your dad. And like I have a cousin, which I guess it's not as weird, but I have a cousin who always calls her dad Papa, which I guess is not obviously as weird, but she still calls him that. And she's in college. And she'll be like, Papa? So, I don't know. I think it sounds weird because people have made it weird. My best friend of 10 years destroyed my life in the most insane way after I saved him. Hold up. Let's, oops. This is the first time I've shared this story here or anywhere for that matter. I've kept it to myself for a very long time, but it's always been on my mind. It's time, I think, to forget it. Hope you read this, asshole. Oh, for the person she's talking about. I'm 38. 10 years ago, my closest friend, call him Alex, completely fell apart. Business folded. Wait. My best my closest friend, Alex, completely fell apart. Business folded, buried in debt, in a really bad place mentally, the kind where you don't want to leave the guy alone. Mm. So I did the friend thing. He stayed with me for about 8 months, no rent. I covered part of his therapy and I lent him money in bits that added up to over 9K. Figured I'd never see most of it and was okay with that. He pulled himself back together eventually, and I was proud of him for that. Last year, I finally launched the thing I wanted to build forever: tiny startup, custom AI tools for small businesses, handful of clients, nothing crazy, but it was mine. Alex was pumped for me and asked if he could come on. Felt like a no brainer. Really? Gave him repo access, the client database, all my private research. Didn't think twice. It's Alex. What do you mean it was a no brainer? Oh my gosh. I don't even know him and it's not a no brainer. Then, maybe 2 months ago, things got weird. Models doing stuff I never built in. A couple clients mentioned offhand that their version felt smothered. One guy's word, and in a spot or two, it was doing things mine wasn't. I assumed it was a bug on my end and lost a whole weekend chasing it. Turns out Alex had been running a shadow copy of the entire project. Still piecing together how much. Far as I can tell, he had monitored. Wait, far as I can tell, he had monitoring sitting on my servers. He had monitoring sitting on my servers, pulling my changes basically as I made them. And he'd been quietly standing up his own company off of it. Oh, hell no. The part I still can't get my head around, some of the weird client stuff traces back to faked video calls. Doctored footage of me supposedly bad mouthing clients so they start seeing me as a flaky and drift to him. I don't fully understand what he used and don't really want to. And I wasn't, and it wasn't recent. Going through his files, there were notes going back years. Me as an opportunity, how useful it was watching how I work up close while he was in my spare room. That's the bit that keeps me up. I confronted him. Wasn't some movie scene, no monologue. He just shrugged and said something like I always needed to be the good guy, and he used it. Bored, bored about it almost. So now clients are leaving, investors are asking why my product and the guy who built it with me are suddenly somewhere else. And I get to explain that he's someone I dragged out of a hole 10 years ago with skills I helped him learn. That is insane. I don't know what I want from posting this, needing to say it to people who aren't in my life, I guess. Anyone been burned by someone this close who planned it this cold? How do you even deal with realizing you were being studied? Ugh, studied is crazy. Studied the whole time you thought you were helping someone. Oh my God. Could you give me some advice? Is it really possible to learn to trust people after something like this? Because now I see an ulterior motive in everyone and everything. That is so calculated and actually like psycho behavior. That is like psycho behavior. Mm-mm. I don't even know. She needs a lawyer. Or he, I don't know. I keep saying that, whatever, they. They need a lawyer. Because, like, there's like so many layers A lawyer literally needs to like research when you brought them on, what freaking, what is it called? Legal rights like you are owed for your property, what money was involved. Is there even evidence that you can prove that he had been like stealing from you all this time? That's insane. That's probably like the most interesting one that I've read today. 10 years. And and okay, and also suing for like emotional damage and like fucking, I don't know if they can get like back pay on all of the fucking money. They said they were 9K out because of this person. Is there a way to like get back pay for like emotional distress and like blackmail, or not blackmail, what the heck is it called? Intellectual theft or something? Like that's insane. What do the comments say? Not everyone deserves to be saved. The one who betrayed you is usually your friend. Hey, every time there's a movie with a betrayal, it's always the closest person to them. Always. The family member, the brother, the stepmother, the freaking best friend. It's always the person closest. Always. See, call lawyers. Yep, they got the same idea as me. Document everything, call lawyers. If you have extra money, sue him. Because if you don't, he might just sue you for copying his work. Yep. Yep. And try to turn around and be like, oh, it was my idea. If they're that calculated, there's nothing stopping them from being like, well, this was actually my idea that you stole from me while I was like depressed and couldn't do anything. Like, that sounds like the type of freaking response they would say. That's incredibly cold and calculated. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I have no advice, but I wish you the best in the future. Never stop helping people. You'll win eventually. Psychologist here. Alex displays what we call Machiavellian traits. It's one of the four dark personality traits where an individual schemes and cultivates strategic relationships for their own benefit. The other three of the dark personality traits are narcissism, okay, obviously, psychopath. That's what I said. I was like, that literally sounds like sociopath, psychopath behavior. No empathy, and sadism derives pleasure from others' suffering. I would not be surprised if he also has these other tendencies. Definitely psychopath. There's no way you could be living with somebody for 10 years and taking their money, studying them. That's just the studying part that gave me the creeps. Studying them and then stealing all of their like intellectual property and like rights and all of their whole business plan. You just stole their whole business plan. That's so calculated and like psycho. Like, they have to be a psychopath. There's no way that they're not, because that's wild to take 9K from somebody while stealing their whole fucking business at the same time. Unfortunately, research has shown that a certain percentage of society are people who have these traits. Unfortunately, also people who succeed in business typically have one or more of these traits. Excuse me. I didn't know that. People who succeed in business typically have one or more of these traits. For your own sanity, there is no need to try and understand what happened and how things got this way. Alex is a calculative son of a bitch who has been scheming and planning for years. That is his true nature. You cannot trust him. End of story. Yeah. If you haven't already, please seek advice from a lawyer. Yep, that's what I said. Who specializes in intellectual property. That's exactly what I said also. I hope you have cut ties. You're a good person. He is not. Please do not let this experience change you into a bad person. Alex is the vermin of society that nobody should ever call a friend. You, on the other hand, are the most loyal friend anyone can ever hope to find, and he absolutely does not deserve your friendship. Agreed. And we'll close it there. That is so wild. My brother refuses to clean his room. Gross. What do I do? Okay, this one has no context. Oh, hold on. So I will see you tomorrow. Have a good 4th if you're celebrating. If not, have a good weekend.